Unchecked human activities could trigger looming water crisis within years. Ghana Atomic Energy Commission warns. U.S. base in Djibouti seen as potential target amid escalating U.S.-Israel war with Iran. And Nigeria begins evacuation of citizens from Iran amid escalating U.S.-Iran bombing. Jama'a barka da warhaka, barka da sake saduwa a wannan dandalin a daidai wannan lokacin inda muke kama ku labaran da muka tanadar muku na cikin gida da daga kasashen ketare. A yau ni Rahmatu Mahmud Jawando ce zan gabatar da shi tare da Robert Frimpong Masu wanda zai fassara cikin yaren kurame. A dakace mu lafiya. President John Mahama has been awarded an honorary doctor of Philosophy in Public Administration by Yonsei University in Seoul, South Korea, in recognition of his contributions to national transformation, economic development, and engagement with the global academic community. The honorary degree was formally conferred on March 13, 2026 by the university's leadership, led by President Yoon Dong-sung and Dean of the Graduate School, Kim Yoon-chol. Receiving the honor, President Mahama expressed appreciation to the government and the people of Korea for the warm hospitality extended to him and his delegation, and thanked the leadership, faculty staff, and students of the university for the recognition.
The honorable degree of PhD on behalf of President Yoon, in recognition of his distinguished contributions to Yonsei University and to the national transformation and economic development, John Dramani Mahama. The honorary degree of PhD in Public Administration, with all the honors, rights, and privileges thereunto appertaining. In witness whereof, the seal of the university and the signatures of the President and the Dean of the Graduate School are hereunto affixed. Given in Seoul, Korea, on the 13th day of March, in the year of 2026, Kim Hyun-chol, Dean of the Graduate School, Yoon Dong-seop, President.
I thank the Korean government and people for the warm hospitality extended to me and my delegation during this visit. I thank the Board of Trustees, President Yoon, the faculty and staff, students of Yonsei University for this memorable occasion. And I say in Korean, Gamsamnida. This honor you have bestowed upon me today is one that I accept on behalf of all the people of Ghana as a symbol of the deep respect and mutual relations and admiration that exists between our two countries. Now the difficult one. Ije Butao Opa Gangnam Style. May the friendship between Ghana and Korea continue to grow deeper and stronger. May we all commit ourselves to choosing peace over conflict, cooperation over confrontation, and hope over despair. May we always lead with truth and strive for excellence. And to all the young people in Korea, especially the students of Yonsei University, I say, Rating. May God bless the Republic of Ghana. May God bless the Republic of Korea. And may God bless our world.
Also, Vice President Professor Nana Jenopo-Kwajaman has been honored as the first Distinguished Fellow of the University of Cape Coast at its maiden Distinguished Fellow Award ceremony held at the university on Friday. Accepting the honor, the Vice President called for a shift in our educational system to one that enables the educated individual to find practical solutions to society's challenges. Recognizes her years of dedicated service to the university and her significant contributions to academia, leadership, and national development. Professor Nana Jenopo-Kwajaman began her higher education journey at the University of Cape Coast, where she later rose through the ranks to become Vice-Chancellor, cementing her place as one of the nation's most distinguished scholars. Speaking at the ceremony to honor her, the Chancellor of the university, Sir Sam Jonah, applauded the Vice President's lifelong advocacy for equity and her commitment to the rights of women, children and marginalized groups, describing her as a consistent trailblazer whose work has shaped academia and governance in Ghana.
To blaze a trail is not simply to be the first. It is to go where no path exists, to push through the undergrowth with determination and vision, so that those who come behind may walk more easily. That is what our honoree has done.
The acting Vice-Chancellor, Professor Dennis Wolanyo Aheto, also announced that in recognition of her legacy, a facility at the university will be named after her.
The university strongly aligns itself with the government's Big Push agenda. We therefore call on our alumni partners to come support efforts to provide adequate housing and conducive teaching and learning environment for our students. That the university will consider it as a great honor to name one of these facilities after Her Excellency Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman.
The conferment ceremony was conducted by the chairman of the university's governing council, Justice William Atuguba, together with the Chancellor, Sir Sam Jonah, and the university leadership. In her acceptance speech, Professor Opoku-Agyeman reaffirmed the importance of ensuring that academic knowledge translates into real-world impact and lasting improvement in society.
We need to ask whether the knowledge we acquire serves the society that made it possible. At UCC, that question is never abstract. This campus is surrounded by 7 towns, which offer a daily reminder that academia exists within a living community. Our education tasks us to go beyond theoretical knowledge and make tangible improvements in our nation so that we can take genuine pride in our identity and capabilities.
The ceremony attracted various social groups and individuals, including traditional rulers and the clergy. The Water Resources Research Center of the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission's National Nuclear Research Institute is worried that Ghana could face a severe water shortage within just a few years. In an exclusive interview with GBC News, the center's manager, Dr. Cynthia La, noted that although the country is naturally endowed with abundant freshwater resources, uncontrolled and destructive human activities are rapidly pushing Ghana toward a water crisis. She warned that unless these practices are halted immediately, the situation could escalate beyond control. The Water Resources Research Center of the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission employs a nuclear technology called isotope to determine the age of surface and groundwater and its sustainability, as well as tritium used to track the rate at which a borehole is being replenished. With this technology, the Water Resources Research Center of the National Nuclear Research Institute at GAEC is better positioned to ensure sufficiency in the water sector.
What the Water Resources Research Center here at GAEC is doing, we can extend the work further. We've done a lot of extensive work in the northern region. We've also done a lot of extensive work in the central regions. We are struggling because our recommendations tend to remain on the shelves. They are in our publications, they are in our newsletters like you are doing today.
WRRC is calling for more collaboration.
And we are hoping that the government, our doors are open. We are open to collaborate with government institutions, ministries, private sector, to help solve our water issues.
The Water Resources Research Center of the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission has over the years provided scientific support in the water sector for national development. The Ministry of Transport says the remodeling of the Terminal 2 at Accra International Airport is scheduled for completion by July 2026. Once finished, the upgraded terminal will be equipped to handle both domestic and international flights. This will help ease the growing congestion currently experienced at Terminal 3. The Sector Minister, Mr. Joseph Bukari Nikwe, disclosed this during an inspection tour of the facility, where he also engaged with airline operators on the progress of the project.
Terminal 2 of the Accra International Airport is currently undergoing extensive renovation works under the $18 million remodeling project aimed at expanding its operational capacity. The Minister for Transport, Mr. Joseph Bukari Nikwe, said when it's completed, the upgraded terminal will accommodate both domestic and international flights, helping to reduce pressure on Terminal 3, which currently handles the bulk of international passenger traffic. Mr. Nikwe explained that the project forms part of broader government efforts to improve operational efficiency and strengthen Ghana's aviation infrastructure. He added that the remodeling will enhance passenger experience while positioning Ghana as a more competitive aviation hub within the sub-region.
Government, through Parliament, has approved of the airport infrastructure development taxes. We are working with our airline in terms of how we will implement those charges that Parliament has passed for us. And we do not operate in isolation. We always want to give respect to our partners, and the airlines are working with us, and very soon we will roll out the payment plans and how they are going to follow to ensure that the taxes that we need to develop the place will get the taxes. That is why we have brought them to come and see. Should we take the taxes, what we are going to use the taxes to do for them? And I believe they are satisfied with the work we are doing.
The ministry expects the upgraded terminal to significantly improve passenger flow and support the continued growth of air travel in the country. The renovation of Terminal 2 is among several infrastructure projects being pursued to modernize operations at the Accra International Airport and improve service delivery within Ghana's aviation sector. In another development, the Transport Minister, Joseph Bukari Nikwe, and the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture, Emilia Arthur, have pledged their commitment to fully operationalize the Jamestown Fishing Harbour. The facility, which was completed in 2023 and inaugurated in September 2024 by the previous government, is yet to operate at full capacity. Officials cite several challenges, including high maintenance costs, heavy siltation from the Odo River, inadequate fish supply from artisanal fishermen, and structural defects within parts of the complex. Addressing the media after a joint inspection of the harbour, the two ministers announced plans for high-level collaboration to address the operational challenges and technical defects. The move, they say, will help ensure the facility contributes effectively to Ghana's fisheries sector and align with the government's 24-hour economy policy.
The Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection has engaged residents of Adan in a community dialogue to raise awareness on social protection programs and address growing social concerns in the district. The initiative forms part of a nationwide series aimed at promoting community participation in tackling issues such as teenage pregnancy, child abuse, and human trafficking.
Attracted traditional leaders, local authorities, and residents to discuss key social protection challenges affecting the district. Officials highlighted concerns such as teenage pregnancy, child abuse, and involvement of some children in fishing activities and sand winning. Participants were also educated on drug abuse, human trafficking, and domestic abuse, whilst officials explained the reassessment process under the Livelihood Empowerment Against Poverty LEAP program to ensure deserving households continue to benefit. Nene Kabute Asem, who represented the Paramount Chief of Adan, emphasized the need to educate young people on their rights and protect them from abuse.
The child have a right to school and other social amenities. So when you deprive them today, it will be an effect on you, the parents, itself, in the near future.
The head of the Social Protection Directorate at the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, Madame Francisca Atuluk, reaffirmed government's commitment to strengthening social protection systems and encouraged residents to report cases of abuse through available toll-free lines.
So we are saying that if you see something, say something. So our toll-free lines are there: 0800 800 800, 0800 900 900. So if something is bothering you, let's make use of these toll-free lines and report.
Participants also had the opportunity to register for or renew their national health insurance cards free of charge during the program.
The traditional authorities of Sampa in the Bono region have raised concerns over the escalating chieftaincy dispute in the area, warning that the situation bears troubling similarities to the early stages of the Boko conflict. According to the leaders, the development in Sampa goes beyond a mere traditional disagreement, describing them instead as a deepening crisis which is intensifying and risks spiraling out of control. At a media briefing, they appealed directly to President John Mahama to intervene, stressing that the Constitution ultimately places the responsibility for the safety and security of every Ghanaian in his hands.
Mr. President, as Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, every life in Sampa is under your constitutional protection. The cries of our people rise to you. Mothers fear for their sons. Traders fear investing. Youth fear that violence may return at any moment. The air in Sampa is heavy with uncertainty. History will remember whether any warnings were heeded. We do not seek to inflame tensions. We seek to prevent further tragedy. We do not seek confrontation. We seek protection.
The government has urged to adopt a public-private partnership model in financing secondary education. An economist and former director of ISE, Professor Peter Quartey, believes such an initiative will help bridge the infrastructure gap in schools across the country. He made the call while delivering a lecture at Wesley Grammar School as part of activities marking the institution's 70th anniversary celebrations. Increasing enrollment, lack of infrastructure, and rising cost of educational materials remain a major challenge in the education sector. At the public lecture to mark the anniversary of Wesley Grammar School, an economist and acting director of the Legon Center for International Affairs and Diplomacy, Professor Peter Quartey, proposed a public-private partnership in financing the education sector.
We provide long-term contracts where a private partner designs, builds, finances and maintains school facilities, while government pays over time and retains control over pedagogy. So, private developer will build everything and government will pay over time. If we do that, all these unfinished projects, partially completed projects, abandoned projects, etc., will be a thing of the past.
The former Pro-Vice-Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast, Professor Rosemond Boahene, highlighted the need for innovation in the use of artificial intelligence. She says AI has come to stay and encouraged students to sharpen their knowledge in AI as a learning tool.
The modern education system, especially what we have now, was a product of the Industrial Revolution. The purpose was to create a workforce that was literate, that is able to numerate, punctual, and obedient. They were designed to produce workers for the assembly lines of industry and the bureaucracies of government. It was a cathedral. I'm here to say that the cathedral is crumbling. Not because education failed, but because the world changed. The pillars that held the cathedral up job security, linear career paths, the premium on memorized knowledge have been knocked away by globalization and now by technology and AI.
Participants proposed practical solutions to pressing challenges in the education sector. Welcome to our Heritage Month series. To many people in Ghana and abroad, the word Kotoko refers to a popular football team, but the Asantes, the name is deeper than the game of soccer. Kotoko represents the Asante army, noted for being fearless in combat with the enemy. As part of our observance of the Heritage Month, GBC News features a story by Akosua Frema Frimpong on Kotoko, the symbol of Asante military might, which doubles as the emblem of the Asante Hene.
The Asantes were once an oppressed group of people, but in unity, they formed a formidable team led by their king to gain independence from oppression. The group went ahead to win many wars and conquer territories. To serve as a warning to their enemies, the Asantes adopted Kotoko as their totem. Kotoko is the tree equivalent of porcupine, a rodent with spines or quills on its body. The animal uses its sharp spines as a defensive mechanism when under attack. Kotoko is originally Kutukun, meaning squat and fight. The animal was named as such because it puffs up to make its quills erect to attack an enemy. The Public Relations Officer of the Ghana National Cultural Center in Kumasi, Peter Kinapia, speaks more about the characteristics of Kotoko.
It is a very calm, quiet animal, always protecting its own and living within its habitat. Anytime it's going to be attacked, it quells itself, but if the attack becomes persistent or violent, then it begins to defend itself by, throwing out the quills or the spikes, as some people will call it.
History has it that the Asantes were fierce fighters in battle, using the best combat strategy. Therefore, Kotoko was used to symbolize the strength of the Asante kingdom.
Just as the porcupine will throw the quills from all angles, from the rear, from the vanguard, from the right wing and the left wing, so the Ashantis would go to war.
Kotoko, the emblem of Asante Hene and Asante Mine, was adopted by Nana Kofi Oseitu I in 1701. The emblem is a red Kotoko on a gold background that symbolizes gold, which continues to be a source of Asante wealth. Peter Kinapia says the adoption of Kotoko as the totem of the Asantes continues to have a significant impact on the kingdom.
The Ashantis have this saying that they would never attack, but if you attack them, they will defend themselves until the last drop of their blood. In other words, they would fight, and if you think you have defeated this divisional army or battalion, it's never done. There are other more battalions coming. They say if you kill 1,000 in battle, 1,000 more would come.
Kumapima Apimbeba, which is the war cry of Asante Man against its enemies, is in reference to the detachment of the quills of Kotoko from all directions when it is attacked, and that has remained the motto of Asantes till today.
That was our Heritage Month series. Residents of Anyako, Seva, and Kunu in the Keita municipality of the Volta region are expected to benefit from improved access to safe drinking water following the commissioning of the Anyako Seva water supply system. The project forms part of government's efforts to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal 6, which seeks to ensure access to clean water and sanitation for all.
The water system, constructed within 5 months, includes a modern treatment unit, hybrid solar-powered pumping system, pipelines and standpipes at vantage points to deliver potable water to the beneficiary communities, which include Anyako, Seva and Konu, all in the Keta municipality of the Volta region. These communities have been without water for over 20 years. Inaugurating the project, the Minister for Works, Housing and Water Resources, Mr. Kenneth Gilbert Ejay, described the facility as a major step toward improving public health and community development.
This project will bring many benefits: reducing waterborne diseases, providing reliable water for households, schools and clinics, and freeing up time for women and children who typically bear the burden of fetching water from distant sources.
The Volta Regional Minister, Mr. James Gunu, described the project as critical to improving the welfare of coastal communities. The project forms part of government's overall infrastructure development agenda. The Chief Executive of the Community Water and Sanitation Agency, Vincent Kwagbanu, spoke of an imminent expansion of the system to households.
This is just phase 1 of the project. Between June and December, we will extend water to every home in Anyako, Konu and Seva.
Health officials in the area say the project will significantly improve healthcare delivery. A physician assistant in charge of the Anyako Health Center, Caroline Tomafa, says over the years they have depended on salty water, which affect medical equipment. Authorities say the system will operate with solar hybrid power and smart water dispensing technology to ensure sustainability and accountability. The water project is expected to improve public health, sanitation and livelihoods, contributing to Ghana's commitment to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, especially Goal 6.
The Acting Director of Public Relations and International Affairs at the Narcotic Control Commission, Mr. Francis Supuku, has clarified that the opening of applications for licenses to cultivate and manage cannabis is strictly for industrial and medicinal purposes. He explained that the permits apply only to cannabis with a tetrahydrocannabinol content of 0.3%, stressing that Ghana's laws continue to prohibit the recreational use of the substance in any form.
What we are talking about is the medicinal or industrial hemp. That is what we are talking about. That has 0.3 THC content in it. And basically, what we use that or what we need that for is for industrial. And when we're talking about industrial, we're looking at the stem giving us fiber, that we can get a lot of things in the fiber. For instance, when you go to a country like Portugal, a company has been able to develop blocks that they use in building houses. That is hemp blocks that they use. Some of these modern cars that we sit in, they will tell you that they use fiber in parts of the car. When you come to our homes, when we're doing the POP, fiber is in there. And we're also talking about the medicinal aspect of it. The oil can give us a lot of potential in terms of medicinal that we can use in healing a lot of sicknesses and diseases. The emphasis is that we're not legalizing cannabis, which is the recreational one, because our law says that it is still against the law when you use it or when you traffic in it.
Let's take a breather. We're back shortly with some more news on Huawei.
Mosquito repellent, highly recommended by Ministry of Health, CHAS and GES, lab tested by Noguchi Medical, field trialed by Atomic Energy Commission. It has no chemical or side effects and is good for all ages and skin type. MedShea is available nationwide. Contact us on 0244892413. This advert is approved by FDA.
It's the FIFA World Cup, USA, Canada and Mexico 2026. The euphoria is mounting due to the expanded format, the countries hosting it, and of course, the stars to parade at the biggest world sporting event. The Road to the World Cup show is here to answer all your questions about the qualification format, the rationale behind the expansion in participating countries, and all other information around the FIFA World Cup 2026. Catch the Road to the FIFA World Cup 2026 show live on GTV Sports Plus every Tuesday, Thursday and Friday at 8 p.m. Seasoned sports stakeholders and stars will be engaged on the show to serve you the best FIFA World Cup details on the Road to the FIFA World Cup 2026 show. Remember, it's Tuesdays, Thursdays and Fridays at 8 p.m. Don't miss out. America, Canada and Mexico. Here we come.
Ghana for Madam Hisense in you. Yeka Hisense, Mwamu nimse a home appliances, Efe, a papa, entry power, ne buona so dafo. Hisense, Ubeto Abruchim, Sa quality nana Ubeton Ghana, and Nuntin a Yenya Hoto Soya Mau, 5 years manufacture defect warranty, air condition, television, say a refrigerator, washing machine, sound system, gas cooker, electric cooker, smartphone, and iron. The one dear, yes, in a power bia. And Tipora Hisense showroom, quite dear. Hisense, everyday prices for everyday people.
It's the FIFA World Cup, USA, Canada and Mexico 2026. The euphoria is mounting due to the expanded format, the countries hosting it, and of course, the stars to parade at the biggest world sporting event. The Road to the World Cup show is here to answer all your questions about the qualification format, the rationale behind the expansion in participating countries, and all other information around the FIFA World Cup 2026. Catch the Road to the FIFA World Cup 2026 show live on GTV Sports Plus every Tuesday, Thursday and Friday at 8 p.m. Seasoned sports stakeholders and stars will be engaged on the show to serve you the best FIFA World Cup details on the Road to the FIFA World Cup 2026 show. Remember, it's Tuesdays, Thursdays and Fridays at 8 p.m. Don't miss out. America, Canada and Mexico. Here we come.
MedShea, natural mosquito repellent, highly recommended by Ministry of Health, CHAS and GES, lab tested by Noguchi Medical, field trialed by Atomic Energy Commission. It has no chemical or side effects and is good for all ages and skin type. MedShea is available nationwide. Contact us on 0244892413. This advert is approved by
Welcome back. Let's talk business. The government of Ghana has secured $6 million to revive the struggling Ghana Cylinder Manufacturing Company. The move is expected to boost the local production of LPG cylinders and support the implementation of the cylinder recirculation model aimed at promoting safer cooking across the country.
The Ghana Cylinder Manufacturing Company, once a key player in the production of LPG cylinders in the country, has faced several operational challenges over the years, leading to a decline in its production capacity. However, the government says the newly mobilized $6 million will be used to refurbish the company's plant and upgrade its machinery to improve efficiency. Officials believe the investment will not only help restore the company to full operation, but also reduce Ghana's reliance on imported LPG cylinders. The revamping of the company is also expected to support the government cylinder recirculation module, a policy designed to ensure the safe distribution, maintenance and replacement of LPG cylinders nationwide. Authorities say the move will also create employment opportunities while strengthening the country's efforts to promote clean and safe cooking fuel.
The Ghana Investment Promotion Center has recognized the Ashanti region as a strategic location critical to Ghana's transformation drive. The region's strong agriculture base, established industrial clusters, and growing infrastructure provide the foundation for value addition across multiple sectors, while the government's initiative to transform Greater Kumasi into an industrial city with the Buankra Inland Port Project as the nerve center.
The Ashanti region, with a population of about 5.4 million, is considered a major investment destination for both local and foreign businesses. It is strategically located as a transit point connecting directly the northern and southern poles of Ghana, as well as the transportation of goods to and from the Saharian sub-region. The Kumasi Roadshow, organized by the GIPC and its partners, brought together Ghanaian industry players, MMDAs, and other key stakeholders to discuss and learn at first hand the investment opportunities and incentives for them to take advantage to transform the region. The Ashanti Regional Minister, Dr. Frank Amoakohene, pledged the commitment of the Regional Coordinating Council to creating an enabling environment for business growth.
We are ready to make sure your investments are protected so far as the region is concerned. We are ready to ensure that when it comes to security-related issues for your businesses, we are ready to make sure we give you all the support so that it will even attract more people to invest here in the region.
The Chief Executive of GIPC, Mr. Simon Maji, described the Ashanti region as a strategic area with vast investment potential yet to be fully tapped.
The Ashanti region, the heart of Ghana, is particularly well positioned to play a critical role in this transformation. Its strong agricultural base, established industrial clusters, strategic location, and growing infrastructure provides the foundation for value addition across multiple sectors.
The Mahin of Offenso, Nana Wiafi Akenting, assured the commitment of the chiefs and people to any investment activity meant to transform the region.
The responsibility today is to shape a more resilient and dynamic future.
Sure.
As Kumasi continues to grow, investment in housing, infrastructure, and commercial development will inevitably expand.
Let's now have the interbank and commodity prices for the day.
Mosquito repellent, highly recommended by Ministry of Health, CHAS and GES, lab tested by Noguchi Medical, field trialed by Atomic Energy Commission. It has no chemical or side effects and is good for all ages and skin type. MedShea is available nationwide. Contact us on 0244892413. This advert is approved by FDA.
Sorry for left.
Hey, you gonna explain tire?
Let's all join the ride to make our nation great and strong.
Welcome to the energy segment. The Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, PURC, has announced a reduction in electricity and water tariffs by an average of 4.81%, while water tariffs will reduce by 3.06%. The Commission says the reduction forms part of its second quarter tariff review, which takes effect from April 1, 2026.
By the Commission to ensure that tariffs reflect development in key economic indicators affecting utility service providers, whilst also protecting consumers. In its statement, the PURC considered factors including the Ghana Cedi US dollar exchange rate, inflation, the cost of natural gas used for power generation, and the electricity generation mix between hydro and thermal sources. The Commission projected an average exchange rate of 11.19 cedis to $1 US for the second quarter of 2026, representing a 6.7% appreciation of the cedi compared to the previous quarter's rate of 12.01 cedis to the dollar. The Commission also used a 3-month average inflation rate of 4.17%, which represents a significant decline compared to the previous quarter. However, the weighted average cost of natural gas used for power generation increased to $8.10 US per MMBtu, representing a 2.84% rise from the previous price. Meanwhile, the projected electricity generation mix remains unchanged at 20.9% from hydro sources and 79.1% from thermal generation. The PURC explains that the quarterly reviews are meant to maintain the real value of tariffs and ensure utility service providers remain financially viable while delivering reliable service to consumers. The Commission also announced that for the first time, it has introduced a commercial tariff for electric vehicle charging as part of efforts to promote green energy transition in Ghana. The new tariffs will take effect on April 1, 2026.
Government says concrete steps are being taken to ensure reliable and stable electricity supply across the country to support businesses, boost productivity, and improve livelihoods. Speaking at an event organized by Ghana Gas to mark this year's International Women's Day in Accra, Deputy Chief of Staff in charge of administration, Nana Oyebampo Ado, stated that the measures form part of broader efforts to stabilize the energy sector as Ghana pursues its development priorities.
Is a very critical component and critical driver of Ghana's economic growth, industrial development, and job creation. We need reliable energy, electricity supply to support our businesses, to support productivity, and improve livelihoods across the length and breadth of Ghana. So as Ghana continues to pursue its national development priorities under the Reset Agenda, efforts are being made to stabilize the energy sector, address financial challenges within this industry, and enable very reliable power supply to support economic growth and job creation. Very important steps have been taken in this regard to restore stability and confidence in Ghana's energy sector.
The Ear, Nose and Throat Department of the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital has organized a free ear screening exercise for pupils of the Matthias of Uganda Basic School as part of efforts to promote early hearing care among children. The exercise forms part of activities marking the Global Hearing Awareness Campaign under the theme, From Communities to Classrooms, hearing care for all children in mind.
Medical officers and specialists from the hospital screened dozens of pupils to detect early signs of ear infections, hearing loss, and other ear-related conditions that could affect learning and development. According to the senior specialist from the ENT department, Dr. Na Akushika Sepenu, many children suffer hearing problems without realizing it, which often affects their academic performance and communication skills. She explained that early detection and treatment of hearing conditions are essential to ensuring that children develop properly and perform well in school. Some pupils who were diagnosed with ear conditions were referred to the hospital for further examination and treatment.
We are focusing on early detection of hearing loss and putting in early intervention for better outcomes. Screening so far has been going well. We found out that most of the children, if not all of the children, have a lot of wax, that's dirt in their ears. So we are recommending that they put in olive oil drops so that later they come to the department or any polyclinic where there's an ENT nurse, so they have their ears syringed. Our parents and teachers is that they should educate their children not to put things in their ears, pencils, erasers, anything they find. Even the use of cotton bud in cleaning the ear is not advised.
Dr. Joseph Omani Boateng, a principal audiologist at the ENT department of the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, also spoke to the news team.
For the newborns, if you know the child's hearing is intact, then you know that the child will be able to go through the normal milestones when it comes to speech and language. Because if they don't hear as children, it will be difficult for them to speak. What we have realized is that most parents bring their children in quite late, usually around the age of 2 to 4, because that's when they are expecting them to speak, and then the child is not producing enough speech. It's then that you test, and sometimes you realize the child has a hearing problem.
The headmistress of the Martyrs of Uganda Basic School, Madam Stella Adolfo, expressed appreciation to the team from the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital for the free screening exercise to improve the health and well-being of the pupils.
The president of the Renal Patient Association of Ghana, Dr. Kojo Bafo Ahenkra, has advised Ghanaians to adopt more proactive, healthy living style that will keep the body active and immune from any health disorders. His comments stem from the Minister of Health, Mr. Minta Akando, indication that 19% of the country's population is battling chronic kidney diseases. In an interview with GBC News, he emphasized the need for regular health checkup and avoid abusing substances that damage the excretory system.
Mostly it's either hypertensive or diabetic. These are the two major factors. Both two factors are very silent. You wouldn't know that you have diabetes unless you go to the hospital to check. Hypertension, so you wouldn't know unless you go to the hospital. You might, for hypertension, you might be feeling some headache. You might think it's a normal headache. You take painkiller. But before you realize, it is damaging your kidney. So basically, you're supposed to go to the hospital and do regular checkups. Once it is seen early, something can be done about it. For it to bring it down, more education needs to be done, and people have to do a lot of regular checkups to avoid some of these things, because most of them are very young and youth. The aphrodisiacs, these energy drinks and those things, they should be very cautious and mindful of whatever they're taking into their system.
Mosquito repellent, highly recommended by Ministry of Health, CHAS and GES, lab tested by Noguchi Medical, field trialed by Atomic Energy Commission. It has no chemical or side effects and is good for all ages and skin type. MedShea is available nationwide. Contact us on 0244892413. This advert is approved by
Mrs. Papa.
The Batman more doing that trash. The friend Angel Rock Bis. A Yemesis Yariapa, Mrs. Cannon and saying, drain ni dibu am.
Angel Rock Mixture.
Edina no abono. Me fa ntem sami baba. Angel Rock Mixture mo kutu box mo de kwai. Mo ko to ana.
Me de kobo me ho bai.
Angel Rock Mixture. Mama Mrs. Nwa do me for
Angel Rock Mixture.
Opportunity.
Angel Rock Mixture. Rock B.
Wofa na nenu na won to wa. Wo doctor. Won ton man nipa won di vie du modwe. Ensese apemfo no. Ne oba wo ma akoda no fo. FDA agi adwade nkrato ya to.
Welcome back. The U.S.-Israel war with Iran is entering its third week, and American military bases across the Middle East have become prime targets for Iranian attacks. On February 28, Iran launched missile and drone strikes against countries hosting U.S. troops, including Bahrain, Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, Qatar, Syria, and the United Arab Emirates. Now attention is shifting to Africa. Camp Lemonnier in Djibouti, the only permanent U.S. base on the continent, houses about 4,000 personnel and plays a critical role in operations across the Horn of Africa. Its proximity to Yemen, where Houthi rebels maintain close ties with Iran, raises concerns it could become a target. The U.S. Embassy in Djibouti issued a security alert citing regional tensions and threats against American interests. Routine consular services were suspended, and U.S. citizens were advised to exercise increased caution. The Nigerian government has begun evacuating its citizens stranded in Iran as tensions escalate following ongoing Israeli and United States bombing in Tehran and other Iranian cities. Authorities say the move is part of efforts to ensure the safety of Nigerians living in the country as the conflict continues to intensify and more nations keep pulling their citizens out of the region.
Nigerians in Diaspora Commission says no Nigeria in Iran has been affected by the conflict so far. In a statement, the Commission says officials have been stationed at the Armenian border to receive and assist evacuees leaving the country. It says Nigerians who wish to leave Iran are being safely escorted across the border by staff of the Nigerian embassy in Tehran to ensure a smooth and secure passage. However, authorities did not disclose the number of Nigerians currently living in Iran or how many have been evacuated so far. Meanwhile, several African countries have begun efforts to repatriate their citizens from parts of the Middle East amid the rising tensions. On Monday, Tanzania evacuated the first group of its citizens from the United Arab Emirates, with evacuees expressing relief as they reunited with their families in Dar es Salaam. Iran says the ongoing war has killed more than 1,255 people and injured about 10,000 others.
Mrs. Me bre papa.
Sisi yoko, anyo nko.
Sabe, arai.
Fa Mrs. Ntimi.
Ko seche. De ba mama mo adu na trahwe. E fa na Angel Rock Base. Aye Mrs. yare pa. Mrs. kan hu nan sei. E drain ni dibu am.
Angel Rock Mixture.
Edina no abono. Me fa ntem sami baba. Angel Rock Mixture mo kutu box mo de kwai mo ko to ana
me de kobo me ho bai.
Angel Rock Mixture. Mama Mrs. Nwa do me for
Angel Rock Mixture.
Opportunity.
Angel Rock Mixture. Rock B.
Wofa na nenu na won to wa. Wo doctor. Won ton man nipa won di vie du modwe. Ensese apemfo no. Ne oba wo ma akoda no fo. FDA agi adwade nkrato ya to.
In sports, a new basketball court has been unveiled at the Michael Blankson Academy at Nsaba in the Central Region. It forms part of efforts to empower young people through sports and education. The initiative was led by Masai Ujiri under the Built Within program of Giants of Africa.
The ceremony brought together students, community members, and sports enthusiasts to celebrate the opening of the new basketball facility. The court is part of a Built Within initiative by Giants of Africa, which aims to construct 100 basketball courts across Africa to help nurture young talent and inspire the next generation through sports. Founded by actor and comedian Michael Blackson, the Michael Blackson Academy provides free education to children from underprivileged communities whilst promoting leadership and personal development. Speaking at the event, Masai Ujiri highlighted the importance of sport in shaping young lives and building confidence among African youth.
You know, I have no doubt we'll reach 100 courts and even more. That's a goal, you know, like that we've set. And when we set this goal at first, everybody was like, okay, wow, you know, like how long is this going to take and when? And look, we're already at 46. We'll soon be at the halfway mark, you know, like next month, you know, when we go to Sierra Leone, Mauritania, Guinea, and Gambia. And that's 4 courts that will make it 50 by God's grace. But for us, there are so many communities, schools, places on the continent that need this, you know, and if we have the opportunity to do this, you know, like I think to grow sports, build education, you know, bring peace, focus on young women, all those things are what Giants of Africa is about, and my work with the United Nations, and I think this is where our heart is.
Founder of the Academy, Michael Blackson, expressed appreciation to Giants of Africa for partnering the school to create opportunities for the students.
When I was a kid here, I think that was one of my challenges, was not being able to afford school. And I know how passionate the kids are about education. Kids in Africa love to learn, especially Ghana kids. We love school, love to learn. And I don't think there should be a barrier to education. You know, and when God bless you, you have to bless others back. That's how God keeps blessing. There's nothing behind it besides the blessings of God.
The ceremony also marked the 3rd anniversary of the Michael Blackson Academy, which continues to provide hope and opportunity for children who otherwise might not have access to quality education. Following the unveiling, about 50 boys and girls from the academy participated in a youth basketball clinic led by local and international coaches from Giants of Africa. For the young students, the new court represents more than just a place to play. It is a symbol of opportunity, discipline, and dreams for a brighter future.
Duka abinda ya sauwaka mana kenan madadin wanda suka tasara kuma ni kuma na gabatar muku ni da Robert Frimpong Manson ke cewa abu ne lafiya.